Welcome to Mobile Rolling. After the break, it'll be my pleasure to be joined by South Australia's oldest range person, possibly Australia's oldest rangeman, and we'll obviously get some feedback from viewers if he's not. So we'll see you after the break. Mobile Rolling, it's a pleasure to be at the stables of John Lee. Welcome to Mobile Rolling, John.
Thanks, Gary.
I believe you probably could be Australia's oldest competing licensed range person. I believe you're 84, is that correct?
That is correct.
And 85 next month, is that right?
Correct, again.
Okay, so you've been in the game a long time, you've seen a lot of changes.
Yep.
For good or bad. Let's, as I normally do, we start at the start. Tell us where you were born, where you went to school, how you got into the industry, game, hobby, whatever you want to call it, and we'll go from there. So
right.
I'll leave it up to you.
Right, I was born in Glenelg, went to Adelaide High School, and I worked in an office as an accountant, and I got sick of being locked up inside, and I thought, well...
That's obviously the office, not jail, John.
Yeah, well, jail might have been better.
The mills were better.
Are they? You tried them?
No, I haven't, but they reckon they're okay. So when you went to
Adelaide
High,
yeah, and going up, my parents had businesses, delicatessens and hairdressing shops in town, and we're driving up each morning. I used to see these horses crossing Anzac Highway, disappearing down a little side street, and I thought, where in the hell are they going? So one day I was supposed to be going to play tennis, and the coach called it off. And I got on my bike, I went up there, it was Weagle Oval, and all these trotters were...
So what year would have that been?
Oh, that would have been probably about 53, 54.
Yeah, no, I wasn't around then, but that's, yeah. So how old were you then? What year were you at school? Were you doing high school then?
Yeah, I was about 16,
yep.
Rising 16.
Mm-hmm. And so you went around the corner and you said, oh...
Yeah, what's going on here? I went up and seen this chappie down there with about 5 horses harnessed up. I walked down, and I didn't know at the time it was Tommy Butterworth, because I didn't know who they were. And I said, you wouldn't need any hand? He said, no. He said, try Ronnie Arthur. Go down that street, turn right, first on the left, you see his stables. So I went down there, and this chappie standing there with a cigarette in his mouth. And I said, excuse me, is Mr. Arthur around? He said, you're talking to him. I said, have you need any help? He said, do you know anything about horses? I said, not trotters. I said, I've rode a couple of horses in hunts. So I said, you know, that's my limit. Mm-hmm. He said, you know which end kicks then, don't you? I said, yep, I know which end kicks. Anyhow, we just had a talk about how old I was and what I was doing. He said, can you come on a weekend? And I said, yeah, that's what I want to do. He said, well, how would you like to start? I said, what about tomorrow? He said, yeah, and that was trials at Weagle on Sunday, like every area.
How many horses would have been trialling at that stage?
Oh, probably about 40 or 50.
40 or 50?
Yeah, a lot of horses.
So we struggle to get that in meetings now.
Yeah, I mean, in those days, like, there's probably 100 horses working on Weagle on the Saturday when I went there, you know. And I went, and after a while, I got real keen and used to go. And then school holidays come, and he said, you want to come up? And I went up every day. And after
so you're still living at Glenelg at that stage?
Yeah.
So you used to just ride your bike or what?
I used to ride me treadly up.
Oh, well, that kept you fit?
Yeah, kept me fit. And one day he said, about time you had a fast drive. I said, oh, right. I was driving this horse called Fancy Speed every morning. He said, you can drive it. So I had a drive on that with him, worked with another horse. And he was waiting, about a week later, we're waiting for Ray Walter's squeaker, as they called him, to come and drive the horse. His chestnut, it was all harnessed up, called Freeling Boy. And he said, you'd never driven this horse before. He said, he pulls, I don't know if you'll hold him. Well, my uncle, as we called him, was Tim Whittaker, who was a jockey, and he was doing trotters then. And he told me, if you get a puller, drive him on as long as rain as possible. So we got out on the track, and Rod said to me, sit behind me. If you can't hold him, come round and go to the front. So we went, and I just sat behind him all the way. And as we pulled up, Tommy Butterworth said to Ronnie, you better put that kid on the horse all the time. He said he doesn't pull with him. And when we got back to Soldier, I said, did he pull? I said, no, he didn't. So during the week...
Obviously he didn't believe you.
He didn't believe me.
Because you were behind him. So
I was behind, he couldn't see. So during the week he said, can you come up Thursday morning? I said, yeah, on the way to school. He said, drive this horse again. So I went up and he put me in front this time. And I thought, oh, you're smart. You think...
He's going to pull in front of you.
Anyhow, it didn't pull my bed. He said, geez, it does go good for you. I said, yeah. And that was it. From then on, I got the buck.
So when you were, so you would have been 17 then. So in those days, to get a licence, you would have had to, at those days, I suppose you had Tommy Butterworth and you would have had Bill Shin and a few of those, Leo Hunt and some of the Websters, or?
Yeah, no.
No, they would have been driving, but they would have been out. They would have been out.
Peckham was there.
Yeah. When you got your licence then, in those days, you had to get signed off by the, so...
They had a board, there was like Hubert Shin, Dick Webster, Bill Shin, about 5 of them, and you had to take your form and they filled it out if you did something wrong.
So where were you driving at those days?
I wasn't driving then. No,
but when you were track working and to get your licence?
I was at Weagle all the time.
So how many drives and that did you have to get before you got your licence?
12. And you
so were they all at Weagle, or in those days they had Campbelltown and Clemson? Did you go to any of those or not?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have rode your bike there, John.
No, they were Wednesday night alternate to Weagle.
Did you drive at any of those places?
Yeah, I drove at all those. The only 2 tracks I'd never driven on after I got my licence was Snowtown and Port Augusta.
Oh, they're too... Well, I never seen a meeting at Snowdown, but I went to plenty at Port Augusta. Yeah. Gee, they were fantastic meetings. But so how... When you started training, were you training, or when you started having your own horses, did you have them at where you are, or did you at Weagle, or did you have them anywhere at Glenelg, or down at somewhere else?
Moore Street at Glenelg, opposite Ab McDonald's racing stables, and I used to drive the horses because there wasn't many cars or houses.
There's still stables in Moore Street, isn't there?
Yeah.
On this side of the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know where you are.
Well, that's Ab McDonald's on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so. Whose stables were they?
Ab McDonald.
Okay, so he was a galloping trainer, wasn't he?
Galloping trainer, yeah.
So how did you train yours? Did you just put him in a cart and jog around the streets? Or
we had a little track around the back of Ab's place, and he used to ride his racehorse. And he said to me, oh, you could jog your horse there.
So were you still at school, or you left school?
No, I just left school and was working. And then my father died, and we had to sell our businesses because Mum couldn't run them.
So there was just you, your only child?
Yep.
Golden child?
Only one.
Mm. One of. So you, how many horses? Did you only have one horse?
I only had the one horse.
So what was he called?
Rose Con.
Any good?
Run a few places at Barnborough.
Did you drive him?
Yeah. I had to get a permit. And Mr. Turner, Tom Turner, used to smoke cigars.
Oh my God.
And I had to go up, and you had to be careful in those days because you could have two races in the one meeting. And if you had a 28 and you were in a 27 and you won it, you threw a race away. So
yeah, exactly.
You had to sort of get lost somewhere till you won the 28. And I read it.
I don't know whether that's the word we're looking for there, John. Get lost. I think it might be.
You use your imagination.
You're out of your class and you needed to have a bit of luck.
Yeah, a lot of luck.
Yeah. So, where were you working at that stage? What was your first job?
No, I was working at Charlie's then.
Charlie's. That wasn't your first job though, was it?
That was the second. I worked at Whiting and Chambers. That's where I met Bob Norman, Ab McDonald, Neil Robinson, the jumping jockey. A lot of them used to come in there.
So what did you do there?
I was in the office. I was a cashier, salesman.
That's always a good job, the cashier.
Yeah. So it wasn't my money though.
Oh, well, that doesn't matter. There's a lot of people that have looked after other people's money.
They used to come to me because they knew I had horses and I would pick out the good oats for them.
Oh, yeah. And so this is when you was at Charlie's. So yeah. That's on London Road. That's still there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's still there.
So
they're owned, I think, now by Laukey's.
Yeah, Laukey's Mill, yeah. So how long were you there, and where were you? Still at Glenelg?
Yeah, I was still at Glenelg, and I met my wife there, and she led me astray. She won't like that. But
no, well, it will. I'm sure that's a bit that Lee won't cut out, so that's good, Johnny. That's good. You got a spare bedroom, so that's fine. So how long were you at Charlie's for?
Oh, about 2.5
Yeah.
years. 3.
So where you still with at McDonald's, or you shifted somewhere else?
No, I'd shifted over to Camden because getting
closer
the
to-
horses to Weagle, you know, it was easier to get
So
up
you just
there.
leased some stables? So how many did you work then?
Buddy, I had one.
Only one? What's the most horses you've ever had?
No, round 10.
Okay.
I never ever, when I bought Keith Bennett's place at Weagle, I could have had about 12.
So Keith
checked
Bennett's
that.
now living in northern New South Wales. So he's been gone from here. So how long?
I've been out here, nearly 30 years. I was there for about 10.
Did you buy it before Keith, or did Keith buy it off of you?
I bought it off Keith.
Okay, and where did Keith go? Out to Two Wells or somewhere, did he?
Yeah, he went Virginia way.
Virginia way, then he's now up in Queensland, yeah.
Yeah.
Had a lovely pair of hands, Keith. Very, very good driver.
He knew what he was doing.
Well, he's a very, very good driver. Don't worry about that. No, Keith, he used to,
Yeah,
when I was a kid, I used to go to Kadina and I used to watch him, and he could drive Kadina with his eyes closed. He was fantastic.
He was all right.
So you bought that place there. How long were you at his property there?
Oh, about 7 years.
7 years. Okay. So at that stage, you were driving at Wayville.
Yeah.
So what was it?
No, I was driving it when I was down in Camden.
Okay, yeah, but at that stage,
Oh, yeah.
Wayville was gone.
Yeah.
So
And
what was your first winner as a driver? Do you remember what that was?
yeah, it was called Depara.
The Para?
Yeah,
Did we get any
trained
cash
in
out of that one, Johnny?
Yeah, I got a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah, Rossi Freer was a nice bloke. You know,
What was he, the owner or the bookmaker that got money off of?
He was the owner.
He was the owner. Who was the bookmaker?
I don't know. I never went in.
Well, they were the days when you could get a bet on. Now you can't.
You can't now.
You can't now. You can't anymore. So Depara was where?
Barbara.
Yeah, well, see, you must have
No,
got that.
sorry. He ran second at Barbara, the first ride, and he won at Kapunda the next week.
Okay, so
And he got a quiz.
do you remember you drove some winners at Wayville? What was your
The first win I drove at Wayville was a horse called Knight's Gambit. And I won it on a protest.
was that a mare?
No, gelding by Paravola. He's bred by Reg Cross up at Kadina.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mr. Messenger drifted off the track by the concrete stand, and I went in there and he cut my legs off. And I just managed to get back in the gear and got up and run second, and I protested. And Ray Holloway was one of the stewards. He was on the corner. And we went in the steward's room. I think it was Mr. Butler at the time. And I lodged my protest, said what happened. Sam Messenger said, no, I never left the fence. And Ray Holloway had called Jackie May in. And he said, what did you see, Mr. May? He said, oh, no, Mr. Messenger never left the fence. He said, well, Mr. May, I think you better go to the optician because your eyesight's bad. He left the fence and protested uphill.
So is that Ray Holloway that ended up in Western Australia?
Yeah. We're walking back down the stalls, you know, and...
So how old would you have been at that stage, John?
Oh, gee.
Were you in your 20s or your 30s or
I
what?
would have been about around the 30s.
So how long would Stanley Messi, how old would Stanley Messi been? In his late 50s?
50s.
Yeah. So he would have thought, who's this kid?
Yeah, he wasn't very happy because we was walking down and he said, you'll never win another race, lad. And I said, good luck, Mr. Messenger. Thank you for the compliments. And that was it. Next time I said him in the race, he said, you won't beat me tonight. I said, you won't win either. So the animosity was gone after that initial.
He was just making his point.
Yeah, he was making it.
This is my turf. And yeah.
When he beat me one night, I'll never forget it at Gawler, and I run third. And as I was coming down, and we turned around past the steward to go back, he said, I told you I'd beat you. And I said, yep.
Yeah, I would have said 10 years later. So
That was enough to go.
You won races at Barmera, so in the old days you would have had Barmera. Did you ever go to Whyalla and places like that?
No.
No Whyalla?
No.
What about Kadina? You go to Kadina?
Yeah, I won a lot of races at Kadina.
Yeah, the old stand and starts?
Yeah, beautiful.
Do you ever go to Piri?
No.
Too strong for you, John.
Lying when I said I'd never been to Port Augusta, I went up there once. I took Knight's Gambit up there for the Derby. And McKinnon beat me by a head. We're coming home, Howard, the other chap that was in part, I said, we'll just get going. It was 102. My wife...
That's not bad for Port Augusta.
No, they went up in the air-conditioned office, that bloke's the secretary. We sat in the football room with the shower going on us all day in our undies. And I said to Howard...
No vision on that, have we?
No vision. I said, we better go and hose the horse over. So we did this. After the race, I said, let's get going home. He said, yeah. So we get to Snowtown. And I started to feel a bit weary, and I said, oh, just stop.
Well, I've had frostbite from the shower, John.
I said, well, just give the horse a break here on the side. So I took the horse out the float and I tied him on the back and put a hay net down. Howard got his rug out, put it on the ground, him and his girlfriend lay down, and I was laid on the back seat, Mel was in the front. And all of a sudden I heard, Jesus bloody Christ, what's going on? He gets up, he put his rug on a bull's nest.
Oh, well, that's
And he was getting,
see,
so we packed
shouldn't wait. See, snow down once again. It's got to
we
be.
headed home, and we got home, it was about 3 o'clock. I said, listen, Howard, I said, we'll take the horse down the beach, give him a swim, we'll bring him back, put him in his box, and in those days, shavings wasn't used, it was all straw, you know, so he piled it all up. And I said, we'll go home and have a sleep. So we went home, Milva and the girls went in the bedroom, we were in the lounge, had a cup of tea and a piece of toast, went to sleep, got up at 12 o'clock and went and fed him for lunch.
Everything was fine.
And that was it. And then we sat down and thought, we got beat by this much.
Oh, we've all done that.
You know.
The old Port Augusta going around the old footy oval, obviously.
Yeah.
They used to have the Breeders' Plate, and it's interesting because I never, like Connor Rosie that plays for Port Power, his grandfather, Ronnie Rosie, he used to have Johnny Bruce, the little grey horse and that, you know, they were really good old days,
Yeah.
but of course that's ancient history now.
And I never went again until Tiffany started driving, and she went up there for the ladies' race. We won. She won. I can't think of what she drove. We won that and won the meat tray. And I said, and the woman said to us, you don't want that, you're going back to Adelaide, it'll go off.
Oh, no.
She said, I'll give you $50 instead. I said, oh, righto. She said, we'll run the meat tray again, make another profit. I said, okay. Bugger me dead if the girl, Tiffany's friend, didn't.
She won it.
And she said, I don't want the meat tray.
Another 50.
Gave them the $50 back.
Job done.
Well done. Come home.
Beautiful. So, what was your best? You had a few trotters in your day.
Yeah.
What's the best trotter you had? Because they're obviously a bit of an art, and now I think at the end of the day, the trotter's probably going to save the industry in Australia because they're getting stronger and stronger. So,
well, they're the ones that are improving.
So Scruples, was it? Obviously, there wasn't many trotters around in those days. Was it bred to be a pacer?
No, he was bred to be a trotter.
What was he by?
You would ask that, wouldn't you? He's half brother to Wilbur Starr. I can't remember what he was by. I bought him at the sale. I thought I was buying the mare and the foal, but I was only getting the foal.
That's all right.
And he weaned off in the float, had him, and he.
So where did he race to?
He raced everywhere. Globe Derby. Globe
Wayville.
Derby, Wayville, Victor Harbour, Gawler, Kapunda.
So how many races did he win?
Oh, he won about 20 races. He won from metres like 108 yards behind, you know.
All the hard marks.
All the hard marks.
So how many winners do you reckon you drove? I mean, you're still driving, so you can still add to that. But how many do you reckon you've driven?
Probably around 500.
500. And what about training?
Yeah, a few more.
A few more. So what? You gave it away for a while, didn't you? You didn't drive for a while.
No.
So what happened then? Now you're 84 and you're still driving now.
Well,
Normal people would say, what the hell's going on with this man?
Well, my daughter, we come out here to live.
Yeah. How long you been out here?
About 30 years.
So this has been going for longer than 30, hasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's been about 50 years.
So where were you before you come here?
Marion.
At Marion. So you didn't have stables or anything?
No, just a house. I won the you know.
I don't know, what'd you win?
The Golden Nursery. And I made a promise to the kids, if I won, I'd buy them a swimming pool. I put a swimming pool.
So what'd you win the Golden Nursery with?
Sleepy Van.
Yeah, I remember him.
He's a good horse. I won the Golden
Was he a cute
Nursery.
van? Was he by Cute Van, Sleepy Van?
Yeah, Keep It Van.
Cute Van. Abraham's horse.
Yeah.
Yep. So you won the Golden Nursery and you didn't have any room for the swimming pool, right?
The kids, I said, you know, if I win, I'll buy you a pool. Well, you wouldn't believe it. Sunday morning, I got home from the stables about 10 o'clock. And here's the two kids. My son, who's not interested in trotters.
Clever boy.
Nothing to do with horses. Standing there, their clothes on. Come on, Dad.
Where's the pool?
You promised us we've got to go and get this pool. I said, oh, you're joking.
It's only a little above ground, and that's cheap.
No, in the ground, not above. They didn't want cheap stuff. So we going around all these pools. And we did a deal. And the bloke said, oh, about a month. And young Stephen, he's the youngest, he said, my dad said we can have the pool today.
No, not happening,
And
Stephen.
the bloke said, no, he said, but I'll tell you what I'll do. we'll get it done quick. Well, it got done in September in the show. We go on the show and they're filling the pool up. We get home from the show, the pool, as you fill it up the first time, is always dirty. That made no difference to my son. Off come
So how long did the pool last before you come here?
10, 15
10.
years.
Oh, well, you got.
We got our use.
I thought it was, yeah. So, all right. So why did you start driving? How long you been back driving full time? 3 years, 4 years?
About 5 years.
5 years.
About 5. Marty's party, my daughter was driving him.
So you and your daughter have driven against each other, haven't you?
Oh, yeah, we were the first family to drive against one another.
So who's the better driver?
That's her wife, she'll tell you.
Okay, so
She'll say,
so Tiffany's a better driver and you're the dad, right? We've worked that one out. So you're 84. How long are you going to drive for?
well,
You're pretty fit. I'd like to be fit as you at 84. I'd like to be fit as you now.
now I'm enjoying it and my health is okay. I just drive. And I only drive the one mainly, Marty's party, because he is a problem horse. And Tiffany's.
Don't you drive that other one for Bray?
Yeah.
What's that one called?
Sinatra. Yeah, I drive that for them. But
That's to keep you on your toes, Johnny.
it does. It
I know that we
seem
can't
to-
say anymore.
But
So, okay, so you're going to drive until you stop enjoying it.
yeah.
So
And then that's it.
we'll probably better ask you a few things, because if I don't ask you, I'll get in trouble. Who's the best driver you've seen?
Here or where?
Oh, both here and away,
Well, I think Vinnie Knight's one of the best I've seen.
as far as driving the horses to their ability, yeah. And what about here in South Australia?
Bill Shin.
Bill Shin.
Yeah.
What about trainers? We've had some good trainers here.
Well, you can't go past records, can you?
No, they.
Lowby Holden's got to be the best.
You reckon?
By records. I'm not saying he's the best trainer.
He's got the best record. So what about a horseman? Because horsemen are different than a trainer. So who's the best horseman you know then?
Oh, gee.
Because Albie was pretty good at getting some that people couldn't go at all.
Yeah.
What about some of the olden era before?
Leo Hunt.
Leo Hunt. So he had the Dominion horse, then, young Pedro, yeah.
Leo could tell you. He was the one that got me to go on my own, because I was helping Ron, and he said, Johnny, get a horse of your own, you'll progress quicker.
Well, that was one of the, Vin Knight was one of the, why he was so good,
Yeah.
is he could pick out what was wrong with the horse, and if he had to take it out 5 times during the day to get it right, he would.
Yeah.
And then of course, that's how, when he drove them, he knew how good they were.
And that's how Leo was. And he told me, be honest with your owners. If they're no good, tell them that the horse is
Oh, that's all they want to know.
And I've lost a few owners because I've told them
They don't want to hear what they
they
tell
don't want to
them.
hear.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can tell them their wife's no good, and that's all right.
That's right, but
Tell
don't tell
them
them
the
the horse.
horse is really
It's not
no
up to
good.
scratch. Yeah, exactly.
And they don't. And that's how I've lost a few that way. And I'm afraid that's how I work. And if you don't like it,
That's the
bad
way it
luck.
goes. Well, look, we know the industry's gone through the hardest times it's ever been, and it'll never get back to the glory days, because that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But it's lovely to see, if you're not the oldest driver driving in Australia at the moment, I'm sure that the comments will come through and tell me who is, okay? So it's a pleasure to talk to you today, John.
Thank you.
And all the very best and with your health and your horses, and hopefully we'll see you in the winners list in the not too distant future.
I got a couple of spare shovels if you want to help me.
Yeah, I'll do that as soon as we finish filming, all right?
Yeah.
All right, thanks a lot, John.
Thanks, mate.
Bye.